Hello friend, welcome back. This is a pick a card all about what is blocking you in love. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out together. Trust me. So we have 3 piles, 3 decks to choose from. I'm gonna show you, I picked out some little rocks to go with them. These are all rocks that I found. This is, don't ask me where I found them. They just come home with me, and then they are part of where I live, so I do not know where I found this, but it's very nice. Very clean white rock. And then I'm going to cut the deck to show you just one image of the deck to give you an idea of what this deck looks like. And we have the 8 of Cups right here. So that is pile, group, deck number 1. Group number 2, very smooth, round rock. That's a great rock. Top-notch rock. And let's cut the deck, show you what this looks like. We have the 5 of Wands. Beautiful illustrations. And then a group 3. Sorry, I hate it when these move around so much. Group 3, this is your rock. It looks like a flame. Isn't it cool? It's like a quartz. And let me cut the deck and show you what this deck looks like. It's brand new. Oh, so cute. The Star. I'm so excited to read for you guys with this deck. So again, we are taking a look at what is blocking you in love. So take a moment to see which rock, which deck, which group is calling you the most. You can find the timestamps in the description below, and I will meet you at your reading. Hi, group number 1. This is your reading if you chose this little white rock, which kind of looks like a tiny iceberg. I'm going to put that right there, and we're going to get straight into your reading. So we're taking a look at what is blocking you in love. What is blocking you in love for group 1? My goodness, that was not supposed to happen. For group 1. We have Temperance. We have the 10 of Wands. Immediately I feel that you transmute a lot of energy, possibly for other people. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Some of you might be, some of you might not. But you are kind of like a little filter to some people. Like you filter out negativity. But that puts a lot of strain on you. It's a lot of energetic exertion. And we have the Death card at the end of this row. So let's sit with these for a minute. Chariot at the bottom of the deck for now. I think Spirit is asking you to take more control. They want you to be more in the driver's seat. I think you're very much focused on doing a lot of things for a lot of other people. and it's costing you a lot of energy. And they want you to kind of lay low for a while and to really think about your needs and your desires. And I think that will eventually lead you to kind of like a splitting off. I get the sense that on one hand you're a people pleaser, and on the other hand there's this energy that is really asking you to like focus on you, focus on you, focus on you. And so what might be blocking you in love is the fact that you take on other people's energy and transmute it for them. Especially in romantic relationships, this can be very soothing to other people. This can be very appealing because it's like they come to you and they unload about their day, and afterwards they feel lighter. You feel heavier. They feel lighter. And you kind of like just hold on to your own stuff on your own. And that's blocking you because it's not allowing people to take care of you. And that's kind of, it's difficult because those are the areas, especially as a people pleaser, those are the areas where we have to take accountability for our own actions. You know, where did we not ask for enough? Where do we not speak out enough? But that is changing with that Death card. Yeah, you're very, we have the Hierophant. Which confirms to me again that you're very spiritually inclined in terms of like I think you do energy work, whether you're aware of it or not. But that also indicates that within your relationships, you do a lot of work that is not acknowledged. You do a lot of transmuting that is not acknowledged. Simple as that. So we have the Ten of Wands along with the Magician, which again, this is where we have to take accountability. Where are we taking on too much? Where are we refusing to ask for help, or where are we refusing to give up certain things because we think, oh, I can manage it, I can do it. There is an ask here for you to really focus again on you, but not just focus on what makes sense to you. Not just on like, okay, what do I want, but what do I need? Because wanting and needing are two different things, right? Especially when it comes to love. We might want someone who's exciting and driven, but we might need someone who is more stable and calming like we are. And that's not me telling you that that's what you need. This is me telling you that you need to figure out what do you need. And then weigh that against what you want. Notice how in this depiction of the Justice card, there we go. She's weighing a heart against a feather. And I believe that's the Egyptian goddess Maat. But that imagery is really kind of pulling me in to think about needs versus wants, logic versus emotional needs. Let's take a look at this Death card. And we have the Hanged Man. Yeah, you're about to have a change in perspective on what you need. Oh, and then here is the Two of Swords. This change in perspective is going to lead you to make different decisions when it comes to love in the future. And you're going to feel more empowered once you're able to make that change in decisions. Like, you're going to feel more in the driver's seat, which is what Spirit wants. They want you also to follow your intuition more. There's definitely some kind of realization. There's some kind of awakening that's going to transpire. And it's really going to push you to release some of the old, excuse me, some of the old patterns that you're following. Let's roll some astral dice. So again, I just want to summarize, when it comes to what's blocking you in love, you're taking on too much. And again, this comes with like this energy of people pleaser. I don't like that people kind of have turned that into almost like an insult, because it's not easy. You know, we become, or I should say, it's not a choice. We become people pleasers for various reasons, because we didn't feel safe, because we didn't trust people, and so we want to keep them on our good side, and we want to be loved and accepted, and so we kind of go out of our way to make that happen. And I think you do that very naturally and energetically. This is something, you know, people pleasing definitely is something that starts in childhood. It's something that you're conditioned to do. And it's very difficult to decondition yourself from that. But you are very much in control. So once you bring awareness to that pattern, you're able to start the process of deconditioning yourself by bringing more awareness to what your actual needs are. So not just your subconscious drives, but what do I need? Why do I need it? Why am I looking for this and not that? So that awareness is what's going to change your perspective in a lot of things, and it's going to make you feel a lot more empowered in decision-making processes moving forward. You're going to feel like you're more in the driver's seat, and you're going to be able to release some of those burdens, that Ten of Wands. You're going to release some of those wands in order to focus on you with this Page of Wands. We have the 12th house, we have Uranus, and we have Capricorn. Very interesting. The 12th house is the subconscious, the unseen. These are the things that you are dealing with on your own. So that really just kind of confirms, right, what we've already talked about. With Uranus, that is a change, the Hanged Man. That is a change, also death. Those are very prominent energies of change. A change to how you operate, an expansion of your understanding. I just had a wax spill. Oh no. Let me pause for a second. Okay, there's not much I can do. I'm just gonna let it dry. You can see it over here. It just came running down, but it'll be easier to remove once it's dried. Okay, back to your reading. I apologize for the interruption. So, the Capricorn energy that came out with the Astro Dice indicates to me that this is, again, a kind of like a conditioning thing. that there is some restraint that you put in place for very valid reasons probably in the past. But I think you're getting to a point where you're like able to break free from those restraints, because you know that the way things are right now in love, the way that you respond to certain things when it comes to love is not, it's just not balanced. It's not fair. And that's not to say that you aren't being fair, but it's just that you're taking on more than you should. And that's what's blocking you, because that's what blocks you from receiving true reciprocated love and commitment, especially with the Hierophant, about commitment. And we have Guardians. Guardians is, to me, very much confirming, like, you have very powerful, you have a very powerful spiritual path ahead of you. And I see that with the Hanged Man, with the Death card, with this Two of Swords that has literally like a path on it. There's a lot of awakening that you will be experiencing if you haven't already. And you're gonna feel nearly blind going through it, this Bird and the Justice card. But you are being guided towards more security, especially with this, the Fox. Again, you're being guided to trust your intuition more. Foxes have these really intricate tunnels that lead to their little holes where they live, their little homes, and they're so protective of their homes. Ah, my goodness, this reading. What I want to say about that is that they're so protective about their homes, and I think Spirit wants you to be just as protective when it comes to who you let in. Because there will be, if not have been, people that take advantage of the fact that you're so good at transmuting energy, and they'll just want you to do that for them. We have inner integration. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This is a process that you are going to be going through, again, if not already going through it actively, of you really having this realization of you holding a lot more power than you've allowed yourself to hold in the past. And so you're making this life, you're learning this life lesson, and the next step towards love is actually integrating it, not just being aware, but moving forward with the knowledge of, okay, now I can make different decisions. I just realized that everything is crooked. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this reading is a little chaotic. Let's see. Let's get one more. One more, and then we shall close it out. We have new directions. Yes, we like this. This is beautiful. And this is, again, just confirming that you are headed. Okay, what's blocking you in love? Not much. Not much, because from my perspective, it's gonna be like a switch that flips. And once you flip that switch, the awareness that that light comes on, you're not going to be able to turn it off again. The awareness of that is going to lead you in a completely new direction, and you're going to feel so much more empowered, and that's going to cause you, like, it's like you can't go back to making the same old decisions and taking all this extra burden on for other people, because now you're aware. Now you're aware that you're doing it, and once you're aware, it's like you're choosing it. And that's something that you're going to be like, I can't choose this. Why would I choose this? And that's where you're going to start making different decisions. And that's going to lead you to much healthier, abundant love. And that's what's blocking you as of now. But you are, I'm telling you, not much. I mean, the fact that we have 12th house energy, you're really like cleaning up in the depths. Like you are scrubbing the floorboards because you've probably already done a lot of other work and integrated a lot of other lessons. So you definitely have done your time. It's not like you're just gonna wake up one day and be like, oops, there it is, there's romantic love, just came to me. No, you've done a lot of work. But you also done a lot of work for other people. And you need to stop doing that. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this was helpful, and I do hope I get to read for you again sometime. Until then, take care. Hi, Group 2. This is your reading if you chose this smooth, round rock. And we're going to get right into your reading. So we are taking a look at what's blocking you in love. What is blocking you in love? Simple as that. For Group 2. We have the Moon. Whoa. I'm going to take both of these because that was very dramatic the way they came out. And look at this. We have the Moon, we have the Hermit, we have the Queen of Cups. Emotions, emotions, emotions. I'm hearing Mariah Carey. Emotions, obviously. You got me feeling emotions. And the Tower. The Sun. Oh, okay. Right off the bat, what's blocking you in love? I'm feeling that you might ruminate. I think there's some comfort. I think you actually possibly don't have much of a problem being alone, being in solitude. I think you are either very much used to it, or you kind of prefer being a little bit more isolated, because it allows you to control your emotions more. You might be very susceptible to other people's emotions, and so you kind of don't want to mingle your energy much with other people because it just kind of drains you. If that is the case, then I would advise you to just kind of bring some awareness to that so that you can kind of work with the effects of that, so it doesn't control you, right? If you want to be in solitude and not deal with other people, absolutely follow your heart. But if you feel that your fear or the emotional exhaustion that that other people have on you is kind of like hindering you, if it becomes a blockage, if it becomes something that is really kind of problematic to you, then that's something you want to bring awareness to, right? But overall, I'm definitely seeing that there is this strong reluctance to letting people in. There might be some kind of fear around being misunderstood or just not understood at all. Some kind of fear around having opened up in the past to people who didn't know how to value the fact that you don't open up easily, and it really causing a lot of pain because they weren't able to appreciate your emotional offering. I'm also getting the sense that you might let your emotions control you versus you controlling your emotions, which the word control along with the word emotions is kind of complicated anyways. We're not meant to control our emotions, but we are meant to feel them. And it is when we try to control them, the things that we initially think of is suppressing them, pushing them away, instead of giving them space to be experienced so that we can then live through them and release them. However, you might deal with trying to suppress them and then the emotions bubbling up and controlling you. Controlling you in a way of emotional outbursts or emotional, I'm seeing it more as like emotional independence. Really pulling back your energy and being like, I'm just gonna keep all my energy over here, because if I bring it anywhere else, I'm gonna explode. We have the sun at the bottom of the deck, indicating that there is room for more than what you're experiencing at this time. Let's get a card for the moon. We have the Death card. It's interesting because we just had the Sun card out, right? And here it came out again, but in reverse. And the fact that I said there is room for more, but then having it come out in reverse along with the Hermit is like this, again, this reluctance, this not wanting to face more, not wanting to face. And even like with the Moon, the Hermit, the Queen of Cups, and Death, there's this not wanting to face the light. I think you're very comfortable in like the dark, whatever that means to you. We have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you have needs, but you suppress them, and that's when they bubble up. You have very strong needs. First of all, you might have Scorpio energy, because this is very much like water energy, but also Mars, because there is this like this need to control, and it just completely backfiring. And then not wanting to work on things. Look at this. Okay. Even though The sun came out earlier and then came out again in reverse, indicating this almost this refusal of wanting to, of you being like, no, that's, I don't think so. And then still at the end of the reading, we have the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Again, this just being kind of a crumb, because it's at the bottom of the deck, a crumb of what's to come if you overcome this, which is the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate emotional fulfillment. We have the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some effort. Okay. What's blocking you in love is your refusal to openly work things through before they become an issue. You suppress, you push down. You're like, I can deal with it. It's fine. And then it bubbles up because it's water and fire. Water and fire is boiling hot water. There is this sense of something starts to boil over, and then it causes such an emotional outburst in relation to you previously, you being very much like, oh, I'm keeping my emotions down, I'm keeping them down, I'm keeping them down. So then when they do come up, they're like, it's like, I'm literally thinking of like a kettle on the stove. Once that water is boiling, that sound that comes out of the kettle, you can hear it through the whole house, right? And that really kind of shocks people, because previously, before it gets to that point, it's still, it's quiet, there's nothing. And then all of a sudden there's this loud frequency, and it's I don't want to say it scares people, but it makes them reluctant to work things out, because it seems like such an extreme jump from one to the next, right? So in terms of what's blocking you in love, it's that you need to be more vocal about your emotions. You need to, and again, this doesn't mean like necessarily with every single one, but when you're, every single person in your life, but when you're dealing with someone who you really want to build with, who you can trust, because I do see issues with trust here for sure. But when somebody approaches you that hasn't given you any reason to not trust them, let them in bit by bit and kind of release some of that hyper independence that you have built up, and release some of that steam before it boils over, so that things can be addressed as they're happening, right? I think when you do find yourself in relation to someone, whether that's a relationship or a friendship or anything like that, you tend to kind of, when they do something that upsets you, I think you tend to kind of look the other way, but then it lingers. Spirit is saying to not look the other way. With the sun in the reverse, with this hermit, it's about not looking the other way. There is a change to this. This Death card is indicating that, along with this Ten of Cups. There's definitely, it really just takes awareness. Let's roll the Astro dice and see what else we get. What other energies for group 2? There's Scorpio. I know Scorpio energy when I see it. And then we have the 5th house, and we have Jupiter. This is interesting because the 5th house is all about creation. Jupiter is a very beneficial and expansive energy. But along with Scorpio, it's that reluctance to let in and to trust and to give into that beneficial energy. The sun is here, right? The sun is not. It's funny because the way that this dice is laying right now, the sun was looking right at me. But just in terms of the sun usually representing the most positive card of the deck, and Jupiter being one of the most positive planets, is really just indicating that there's like goodness that wants to come into your life, and you don't want to look at it for some reason. I think you're just very comfortable in your solitude and very comfortable in, even if you're right now, you're saying like, that's not me. Like, I want a relationship or I want to be in love, but there's still, that's a want. But there's still something about you finding comfort in lack. Possibly because it's familiar, because you know your way around, you know how to self-soothe. There's something that you're very familiar with when it comes to kind of, just taking care of yourself. The 5th house is also about art and passion. So this could indicate a reluctance to sharing physical intimacy. Suppressing your needs. I can see that here too. Suppressing your needs for physical intimacy until it gets to a point where, same thing, right? It bubbles over and then you have some kind of encounter that's not actually what you wanted, but you were just addressing the immediate need for physical intimacy, but it's not something that actually leads to any kind of stable relationship that you might be looking for. So being comfortable in your solitude and then really just kind of only coming out of it for physical attention. But then not being satisfied with that because you actually want emotional attention, not just physical. Interesting. Okay, let's pull some oracle cards. We have faithfully. I like how this came out because the fact that these are all like starry nights, these two, and then this is like a starry scenery, and this also seems kind of like a lonely, I think it's a hyena, but just kind of wandering off on its own faithfully. It's like you're very faithful to yourself. You're very faithful to your solitude. I don't think that's a bad thing, mainly because I totally get it, because I am in the same boat, but you might have been going through a period of time where you were very much drawn to solitude because of your spiritual path, because of this faithfully, right? So you're kind of faithfully following what you felt compelled to do, and then you're coming out of a time, or you're coming into a time where that's no longer going to work for you. But also still, I do think that there is a positive vibe to this solitude, because that is what you need in order to understand your worth. And that is what will lead you ultimately to the Ten of Cups. I think this time alone and this honoring is like, it's an important ingredient. That's like making a dish. You can't just leave out the salt, because then it won't taste right. But if you put too much salt, it won't taste right either, right? You want the right amount of solitude and personal development in order to move forward. Let's get another oracle card. Oh, this one came out right away. Eternal Gatekeeper. Oh, if that's not accurate, you are literally gatekeeping yourself. Eternal Gatekeeper, acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. And that's where, you're definitely gatekeeping yourself, but I think you were called to do so. You had to do it out of self-preservation, or you were asked by Spirit to do so, so that you could integrate some of the lessons that you've gone through. So whether this is an emotion or not emotion, whether this is kind of this solitude and this reluctance, whether that is something that you've always had, or whether this is just a phase that you've recently gone through, in either case, there is change coming. And I shouldn't say coming, because it's not just happening to you, it's something that you're growing out of. But it was also something that was important for your development. You couldn't get to the Ten of Cups without it. But it's also uncomfortable to leave what you're used to behind, right? Day and night. That is a beautiful confirmation, because look at this. This is exactly what I was seeing. The moon. I mean, that's literally day and night, right? That's literally day and night, but you are reluctant when it comes to day. And this is about bringing balance into day and night, which means balance into solitude and being social. Solitude, bringing balance into emotional development and active development. And my wording is a little bit off today, but that's not to say that emotional development isn't active. But one is emotional and one is more focused on the actions that you take in every day. So bringing some balance into that. Not have everything be such an emotionally heavy burden to carry, but bringing some lightness into that. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, because I've already gone over, I think. But so what is blocking you in love? I think it's definitely like this reluctance to open up emotionally for probably very valid reasons. Moving forward towards a healthy and fulfilling, loving relationship, I think it would be very important to you to really lean into trusting others, learning how to trust others, acknowledging that there is light out in the world, that there are good people, acknowledging that there is hope, right? Turning that sun right side up, and letting someone in to your emotional self, and also letting your emotions be known before they cause disruption. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that this was helpful, and I do hope I get to read for you again sometime. And until then, take care. Hi, Group 3. This is your reading if you chose this little flame rock. Let's set it right up here, and we'll get right into your reading. And this tarot deck is called the Pulp Tarot, and it is brand new, and I'm very excited. I've spent some time with it. I really love the imagery, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm very much looking forward to using it for these kinds of readings. Okay, let's get right into it. So, what is blocking you in love for Group 3? What is blocking us in love? We have the King of Cups. We have the Fool. Oh, immediately I feel like you might rush into things, possibly. We have the World. And we have the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Huh. Oh my god, and we have the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. I think you're very eager. You're very eager, and you're very much like, I will find them if I have to travel the world. I will find them. Look at this. This is the Knight of Cups looking out, and then we have literally the World, right? It's like you're so eager, you're so like, let's do this. So what's blocking us though? Okay. What might be blocking you is that you, like I said first, you might get a little bit too eager. You might get a little bit too eager too early on. And you create these expectations very early on that almost nobody can reach. And so then you might give up on opportunities very quickly. As quickly as they seemed exciting to you, you might be like, nope, this is not it. On to the next one. Like, very happy to be like, nope, next one. So you know what I get? I get this vibe of someone that's kind of like, I just love love. I am very sorry if that made you cringe. I hope it made you cringe. Although maybe not. I don't know. I feel like you might be chasing an idea. And because you're chasing an idea, you kind of overlook real, raw emotions and real, raw experiences. You might give up on things because they're not emotionally exciting to you anymore. Let's get some more cards. For this King of Cups, what do we got? Yeah, Four of Wands. Like, you get very excited easily. And look at how many women are on this Four of Wands. It's just like, this is like Mambo number 5 status. Like, you could have a little bit of this person, a little bit of that person, and a little bit of this person, and you would be so happy. But who can keep up with that? Look at the Fool coming out with the Emperor. What? Are you okay? I don't even know why I felt the need to say that. But that is very conflicting energy. Because it's like you want... It's like feeling like you can't control your urges. Getting a little bit of Pisces vibes. It's like knowing better, but feeling like at the whim of your urges. Look at that with the Chariot. You're like, and I'm off to the races. Look at this Chariot card. Like ready to explore the world, ready to find new. Like you close your chapters very quickly. And I think once you decide like, nope, that's not it, then you're like done. Next. And I said that earlier, right? Next. You are determined. With the Page of Swords, you are so determined to find something very specific. And I get it. I think there's not... I think... It can be difficult. Because on one hand, I think that it is very much... Sorry, I don't know why I'm having such a difficult time expressing this. On one hand, having something very specific in mind, I think is helpful when you're looking for an emotion. Having something very specific in mind in any other case, I think can be very dangerous. And what I'm trying to say by that is, you should be in search of something that feels right. You should be in search of something where you're like, no, this is where I'm truly fulfilled. This is where I feel like really happy and calm and excited at the same time. This is where I feel love. But if you are going around thinking, okay, this person, I don't think it's going to work out because they do this one little thing that annoys me, so I'm going to go look out for something else. Because essentially, if you're looking for someone to be perfect, then you're going to search forever. If you're looking for something to feel perfect, you're more likely to find something. I think perfect is a very difficult word, but it's like, you know, it's kind of like they say nobody's perfect, but somebody can be perfect for you. So I think there's a very fine line we're walking here. It's like, yes, you shouldn't waste your time when there's nothing for you to gain emotionally from a situation, but also don't give up too quickly. Give people some time to develop and to unfold and to really, I think because you seem very like eager emotionally, you might be very open. You might be very like, I'm an open book. And that's not how everyone approaches, especially dating. And so imagine if you're going on a date and you're an open book and you're very much like, this is what you get. You get what you see. There might be a person that is really a really good match for you that isn't quite as confident or as secure emotionally to show it all from the get-go, right? They might need some time to warm up to you, and you might miss out on some very meaningful opportunities because you didn't have the patience to wait for them to fully open up. because your ambitions, you're very ambitious, your ambitions were like, if it's not right now, then it's not going to be right ever. Next. And the fact that we have the Hermit with this Knight of Cups is just showing me how dedicated you are to being like, I'm on this journey to find the one. You might be one of those people that is like, I'm looking for the one, or my twin flame, or my soulmate. Like you might find those kinds of labels very important. Like you're looking for the one. And you're like, and I'm going to find them. And so what's blocking you, I strongly feel, is the fact that you will, based on an urge, you will abandon situations very quickly. And so there is a tendency to overlook. There might be things that where you're like, oh, this person doesn't have this or doesn't have that. They can't offer me this or offer me that. When in reality, they very well have those qualities. They just don't feel ready to present them. Let's roll some astro dice. Aha. That's what I said. We have the first house, which is the house of self. That is you and how you present yourself to the world. And then we have Libra. If this isn't Libra energy, I don't know what is, because that is very much like Libra is about the idealized relationship, the idealized like harmony and balance, and it's out there and I can find it, especially with that first house. And then we have Uranus. I think we've had Uranus in every reading today. We're getting zapped left and right. There's like a little zzz. In our thought patterns, in our in the things, especially because Uranus has been traveling and still will be for quite some time. It's traveling through Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. So yeah, when it comes to love, we're getting zapped. We're getting like these little laser shock treatments, not laser, electric shock treatments. A little bit of like, we're learning new behaviors, and they are being enforced by little zaps, little bzz. I don't know why it's coming through like that, but that's how this works. Anyways, so first house, again, this is you being like chasing the ultimate soulmate. And this Uranus energy brings a little bit of chaos into that, and it brings a little bit of uneasiness and like restlessness, and that's where this is coming. It's like you're finding it difficult to settle. I'm also getting this, oh yes, I'm getting this image of being at like an ice cream shop and trying, like sampling every ice cream, and then not being able to choose one. And you're sampling all these ice creams, but you just get like a little sample on a little spoon, right? So imagine there's like, I don't know, like an ice cream that has like a bunch of extra stuff in it, kind of like Rocky Road, or just has like bits and pieces of candy in it, or chocolate, just very creative ice cream, right? But the server hands you a spoon that literally just has the cream, none of the toppings, none of the extras that are like folded in. But you're gonna walk around thinking like, okay, I tasted that ice cream, like it's nothing special. But what makes it special is getting that combination of flavors in a bite. And you're only gonna get that if you actually get the whole cup, right? Get a scoop. That's the imagery that I'm getting. Somebody tasting all the flavors and being like, no, 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 no. There's a perfect flavor for me out there. Let me go to the next ice cream shop. And then at the end of the day, you've had like a little taste of a bunch of ice cream flavors, but did you really like give any of them a try? I don't know. Okay, let's pull some oracle cards. I have to say though, I do admire your spirit. Like, you're very determined, I think you're very optimistic, although I do think that like I said, your urges kind of run free, and that kind of frustrates you at sometimes. But I do think that, you know, when you do meet someone, at the very beginning stages, I think you're very open. You're very like, this could be it, this could be it, but it's like almost like everyone could be it. And then very quickly you're like, nope. So what Spirit is trying to say at that point is like, lower your expectations. Leave some room for people to surprise you. We have adventure. You are very adventurous. I can see that. You're ready. You're saddled up and ready to go. I don't know that we needed that oracle card. I think that was very clear. The world, the chariot, it's like you either want to find a soulmate in another country, or you're going to find a soulmate in another country. Like, you are like ready to go. You're ready to find them. You're like on a treasure hunt. But there definitely are some stories around that, like being on a treasure hunt and being so consumed by the hunt that by the time you find the treasure, it's like, well, now what? You know? Sharing. I love this for you because this is exactly what I was saying. Sharing. There is giving in receiving and receiving in giving. And that's the thing. I think you're not open enough to, which is funny because I do feel that you're very open when you meet people, but you're like, this is me, bam, 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 bam. And then you expect other people to be like, okay, well, this is me, bam, 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 bam. But that's not how it works for most people. And so there is giving in receiving, means giving time to let them unfold in a way that they are comfortable. And there is receiving in giving, because you will receive. By giving them that time and space, you will receive more of an insight and a better understanding of what you're really looking for. Even if they aren't the one, you're not wasting time. It's really kind of comes down to understanding more of, okay, why didn't they? Why? I'm feeling strongly that you're trying to find someone that fits a mold. And that's not going to work. You're going to realize when you meet the person that you're looking for that they're not going to fit the mold, because why do you have a mold to begin with to fit, right? Why is there a mold that anyone should fit into? And once you meet that person, I think you will actually recognize that they do not fit in the mold that you made for them, and then you're going to detach from that mold immediately. Because you're going to be like, why do I have this mold? I don't need this mold. This doesn't, what? I want that person, and that person doesn't fit the mold. So obviously I don't want the mold. You're going to realize that when you meet that person. But you're going to have to allow some time for people to, again, I said it before, unfold. I also had heard this earlier, especially because I'm looking at the fruit now and I'm seeing all these women, very colorful. I I'm hearing quality over quantity. And that doesn't mean quantity as in like, don't meet so many people. Like, no, meet as many people as you want, but spend quality time with them. Really appreciate their time and give them a fair chance. Don't just go through a list of requirements in your head. And we have pure nature. I love that that is a big old red rose. And I kept saying, let them unfold, right? It's like you're expecting a flower to look like this and you meet it like this. You need to give it some time to fully unfold so you can fully see them for who they are. That is beautiful. And honestly, like, you got this. You're so driven and so ambitious when it comes to finding that all you need to do is really just kind of slow it down and learn more. Page of Swords. Learn more about the person in front of you. Really give everyone the opportunity to unfold so that you can recognize what you are actually drawn to. Okay? I hope this helps. I hope it resonates. You have a very interesting energy. Like, you're very, let's do this. Which is difficult usually for people with a lot of cups energy. That's why I think it's so interesting, because you feel very driven and determined. And usually cups energy is very much like, I'll just wait till it comes. But no, you're ready to go find it, which is amazing. But you just need to employ a little bit more patience and a little bit more compassion for the people that you're meeting. And then I think there's no way that whatever's meant for you won't pass you by. There's no way you'll miss them. But I think you can save yourself some time by really giving other people more time, ultimately. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope it resonates, and I do hope I get to read for you again sometime. Until then, take care.